When people come to me with questions, the level of experience that someone has or just the basics they might miss, it is the same at almost every level. Everyone falls victim to not having a strong resume, and you need to have a resume that is truly reflective of your experience in order to get the job that you really deserve. So here are some of the basics, and even if you're a seasoned professional, make sure you have some of these. So the first one is you need to have a header. So have a header in your resume. That should include your name, your address. When I say address, you don't really need your street anymore, but a city, state, and zip is good. If you're available for relocation, you might want to put that as well at the very bottom. You want to have your phone number, you want to have your email address, and you want to have your LinkedIn profile. And if you have a portfolio site, include that as well. You also want to have an executive summary. So if you have an objective statement, that's very passe. So go and get an executive summary and follow along with me if you're interested in figuring out how to write an executive summary. But that needs to be a quick 3 to 4 sentence blurb about who you are professionally and what it is that you do and you can change for a company and some of your accomplishments. Think of that as your sizzle statement. What is attractive to you about you and what it is that you bring to the table. The next thing you need to have is a skills section. So a skills section should be, think of it as keyword bingo. You've heard me talk about how important keywords are. Keywords need to be matched to the job description. So great way for you to give a quick skill set. People can look at a glance some of your skills and they'll be like, oh, like HIPAA experience or, Six Sigma. They might go and be like, oh, that's really cool. And then they look for that validation through the rest of your resume. So that keywords and skill section is a really great thing to go underneath your executive summary. The next thing in line in your resume should be your experience. So the only exception is if you are a brand new graduate, you can put your education first, but your experience should almost always come next. And that experience should be outlined chronologically. Functional resumes just don't work, okay? I don't have a single example after looking at nearly a million resumes of a chronological or a functional resume that's worked. Chronological is what you need to do. So start with what's most recent and then work your way back. The next thing is you want to have your education. So have your highest level of completed education, and if you're in progress, you can put that as well. Don't stick with your highest level unless you have a specific undergraduate degree that is really interesting for some reason, and it's hard for me to come up with an example right now. Stick with your highest level. So stick with your master's degree. People will know that, okay? So you don't worry about needing to list everything. Your resume is real estate, and so while you have a bachelor's degree, that's fantastic. It doesn't matter if you have a master's, okay? We already know that you have a bachelor's, and so it's kind of taking space for something we already know about you. Okay, and then the next thing, if you want to include on your resume some optional things, is including your certifications, your professional membership, so that can be really good, especially if you hold like a board position, and then your technical skills. And this is another opportunity for you to, again, play keyword bingo, because you may not want to put Microsoft Office Suite in your key skills in the very top, because again, that's kind of like, yeah, everybody knows that, but then you need to have it because it's on the actual job description. So a lot of times it's still there, even though, and it's because we have that whole required skills when we post jobs. That's why it's there. And so it'll help you with relevancy. So it's a great way for you to include things that talk about systems that you have been familiar with, certain technology. Include that, but I typically would say, unless it's actually your mainstay and you're an IT professional or have worked in CRMs, stick to that in the very end. All right, that's how you should format your resume.